Hello, my name's Akil.
My name's Emre.
My name's Adrian.
So first of all, I'll be explaining the subheadings. What is globalization? Globalization is the different markets that are integrated into the global economy. This involves national economies. Key markets where globalization is important are financial markets, credit markets, capital markets, insurance markets, commodity markets, and product markets. Globalization of sports and entertainment is something that has become a recent factor. Development in globalization. Globalization's development and growth has increased in pace. These are due to many different factors. Development in IT materials, communications, and transport. This is due to the internet being able to provide service 24/7. Social media has also allowed globalization to develop even quicker as producers use different tools of marketing and new forms of communication. The use of electronic payments has also increased, such as mobile pay apps, contactless, and prepaid. This allows increased global trade, increased trade as well. Multinational and transnational companies and the development of global brands such as Apple, Google, and Microsoft. Globalization in India. For example, India was once an undeveloped country, however now it is slowly growing due to other businesses starting trade in that country. What is culture? Culture is the development of philosophy and arts. This is very important when it comes to the development of how people work and the growth of civilization. This relates to people's way of life and their beliefs. Each individual will have different values to another. These are people's shared traditions and base for a group of shared social actions.
I will be explaining how globalization leads to cultural convergence between countries in the modern world. Globalization could be defined as in many ways. Some people say that it is just when barriers to trade are moved away from countries, and therefore businesses and people could trade with ease. Others may describe globalization as the world becoming interconnected due to culture exchange, and so output of production has increased compared to the past. In addition, as a result of globalization, companies have been able to grow their brand, name, and image. The factors influencing globalization: advanced transportation, less barriers to trade, developments in communications, labor availability, positive and negative impacts of globalization. Some of the positive impacts are: unemployment rates in a country decreases as job opportunities increases. The interaction of cultures, gaining knowledge, experience, and seeing other people's lifestyles could lead to people being able to try out new food and other goods that was not found in their belonged country before. By globalization, any news that is in another country could be heard. For example, the United Kingdom was alert on the earthquake that happened in Japan, and so were able to send support. Negative impacts of globalization. The public of a country may not be benefited from investment being made in their area from a foreign country, as local businesses that are already operating in that country may lose sales. Pollution may rise in a country because of more businesses trading. Also, natural resources may be used more if production increases. The jobs of individuals may lead to cultural convergence then. Cultural convergence is generated through globalization, as it allows various cultures to come together and identify similarities in which they exchange and form new elements of a culture. Cultural similarities which cause the convergences can be identified in a number of terms, including technology, sports, language, politics, and many more. Globalization has made many contributions to the change in culture, and its interaction between two cultures results in product trading. This mainly takes place through travelers who spread the knowledge and goods of one culture into other cultures while traveling, which informs other cultures of the existence of other cultural products, allowing word of mouth taking place. However, our post-modern society now enables this to take place without the need of travelers and more simply using technical advancements in which advertisements, news, TV, and the internet act as the major contributors to the spreading of such knowledge of other cultures. By the help of technology, it enabled people from countries around the world to be aware of others and their culture. And so by this development, people could amend their culture if they like a feature of another culture. An example of how technological devices had an impact on the cultures is when in the past, to watch a movie, you would have had to go to a cinema. But now, you are able to access movies on your phones, tablets, laptops, or computers. Moreover, brands like Starbucks, McDonalds are selling their products worldwide. So instead of just distributing these products where it was originally made, it is available in various countries. This shows that culture of food could be tasted by other cultures, and so the food traditions of many cultures could become similar. It could be seen as globalization getting rid of the past cultures and their habits through football events and the Olympics, and therefore this helps creating cultural convergence by meeting with different countries. E-marketing also has an impact in growing cultural convergence, as by people being able to shop online and businesses marketing their goods to a wider audience leads to customers from any location to see the dressing style of each nation. And so having customers liking other nations' clothes leads to sharing beliefs and opinions.
For companies nowadays to attract the modern cultures, they would need to change the marketing strategies. So in terms of advertising, businesses in Asia, America and Europe produce similar promotions when marketing their goods to around the world. As a result, they would be meeting the standards of both Western and non-Western. Cultural convergence has become stronger and is now grown by the cause of globalization. People's music and technology preferences are now more alike. This is the case mainly for new generation teenagers. It doesn't matter if they're in various countries like Turkey, England or America, they would still watch the exact adverts and shows. Helping teenagers have the similar values could lessen the conflict amongst cultures, and we would have an environment where all the community respects each other. English language has become the common language to be spoken around the world due to globalization, and this
has stores established in different countries that sell different types of foods that would fulfill their cultural needs. In addition to this, although McDonald's was originally found in America, McDonald's has been able to spread themselves across many countries. This is evidence from David, stating that in China, McDonald's prefer to use chicken thigh instead of breast for their burgers. McDonald's in Japan have shrimp nuggets, shrimp burgers and green tea flavoured milkshakes. In India, they plan to create a McDonald's which only consists of vegetarian foods. They plan on making a meal, the curry pan, which is a mix of curry vegetables in a rectangular pan. As a result, this shows the business McDonald's is able to share the American culture with the majority of their countries. Businesses may need to change their strategy, for instance, opening a Burger King in a Muslim country such as Dubai. The majority of people living there are Muslim, meaning that they are not allowed to eat the haram meat that is produced by Burger King. This means that it's up to Burger King to make the correct changes in their menu to satisfy their customers' needs. If the risk they have with this is that the customers may not be interested in the food after the ingredients have been changed. Other countries will use cheap labour to create products. They will go to places such as India and China in order to save money rather than looking work for their own state. A consequences of this is that it may result in them being overworked and underpaid. Particular countries will want themselves to be exposed to different cultures. An example of this is opening Indian cuisine in London. Some people may not be open to other countries and may be used to what they're used to eating. So for that reason, it may be bad for business. Also, tensions between two backgrounds can lead to discrimination. This may occur between two different religions, for example. Some people may just be comfortable with their way of life not being changed. Heterogenization means you connect with different cultures, whereas homogenization is the same culture. Major organizations tend to prefer a heterogeneous workforce for a reason, as it helps bring in ideas, as the same people tend to have the same ideas. This may be a disadvantage for the people, and it may dishearten them. This is because they're not getting the jobs they've worked hard for. This form of jealousy may encourage racism and hatred. The positives of cultural convergence for global organizations and populations are that different countries learn from each other and bring in a different skill set and more innovative ideas. They also assist with business strategies to move the organization forward because of the different cultures coming together and bringing new ideas. Also, diverse teams tend to be more productive and perform better as a group. Good opportunity for personal growth, and by being aware of other people's beliefs, they can encourage them to be a lot more helpful.
Globalization has changed significantly by the growth of capitalism. Communication has also been increased by brands using promotion for music, food and live choices. Globalization has helped grow cultural convergence, which means that the government have had to better their products and also decrease the price of them. This is due to the development of technology and people wanting to experience new things. Globalization has also changed marketing. This has also been done by businesses now focusing on profits rather than sales being made. Companies and competition within the global market have different strategies to one another. However, they all have the same end goal, which is profit. They also focus their attention on the opportunities and threats and that may impact their businesses. All businesses must have a strategy in order to compete. Companies that are run globally think about what their customers want. This helps in achieving and making long-term strategies. Selling similar things everywhere will help towards their cultural convergence. Business are aware of what their customers want. This is due to the advertising and promotions done by companies. For example, Coca-Cola gives the same message globally that nations should unite, and this gives them an increased advantage due to smart promotional skills.